for those of you who are new to kind of my sales style, I do have a different take on things. And I'm grateful that you noticed the keep me in mind line, because it was so game changing for me when I figured it out. And it was about 10 years ago. And I'd always been trained that it's like, you walk up to this, attitude on the doors of like, no matter what the customer says, like, you never acknowledge that, like, they are right about your need to leave, or that the objection that they give is valid. You almost have to, like, they say, yep, we're eating dinner right now. And then you're supposed to say, sure, sure. And then just confidently kind of bulldoze over what they say. But the problem is, I think it's created a whole bunch of customers who they're walking up the door being like, oh shoot, how do I get rid of this salesman? And so they've got this like, they're thinking of a smokescreen, it's not a real objection, but it's how do I get rid of the salesman? So they walk up to the door and they're like, salesman, I think he sounds something, I'm not sure. We're eating dinner. Oh wait, shoot, he's still talking. Well, we don't have any bugs. Oh shoot, dang, he's still talking. And then they're basically, all they're thinking about is, how do I let go of this guy without it being awkward and without hurting his feelings? I think a lot of us, we meet a lot of grumpy people, but most people, most people aren't grumpy. So they're actually genuine, like, how do I let this guy go without hurting his feelings? So what I like to say is, as soon as they bring up their first smoke screen, we're eating dinner, I say, no worries, keep me in mind, maybe in the future or something. And I pretend to be defeated. I pretend that I make it sound as though I'm about to leave. And what it does is it drops their whole guard. And instead of spending the next 2 minutes stressing, okay, how do I get rid of this guy? They lower their guard. Okay, cool. Okay, he's giving me a card. Okay, no worries. He's going to leave here in about a minute or two. And they actually allow themselves to listen to what you're about to say. So in my mind, my sales pitch doesn't even start until I say, hey, no worries, just keep me in mind, maybe in the future or something. I'm Dan, I just live down here off of Cloverdale. I'm a small company, but someday I'm gonna be the biggest in town. Maybe in the future, if you ever did wanna hire me, I'm a full level 5 service, so I don't just do a quick foundation spray. And that whole transition, it gives them a chance to think, okay, cool, I don't have to come up with another objection. Maybe I'll just listen to what he says here about the future. Anyway, I hope you guys can apply the line. It's really been game changer for me with lowering pressure so people can actually make a decision.